Hello, everybody. It is Matt, and it is Terrifying Tuesday, and I am back at you with yet another review. Before I roll on to any of that, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing your beautiful faces when you are here. I know I'm here an awful lot, but I have an awful lot on my plate to review. And one last little tidbit of information. Check out the description box. I give you a bigger bite of every single movie of every single day, such as your brief synopsis, your starring cast, director, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with a link for a trailer, a link for where you can watch this bad boy for free, and if you decide, you can help support Matt's Movie Mania and toss me a couple bucks. Now that I got all that said and mind and all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. And today's is a very interesting one. I loved it from beginning to end. It is none other than WJHC AM. Wow. And it is the AM radio station. That is what that stands for. That part is for. But what is it about exactly? Well, it is a film that is a feature film directed by none other than Vinnie, Vineyard, and Luke Walker, both doing a great job at the helm of directing. This runs at an hour and 47 minutes. That's the cut I watched on Tubi. And if you watch through the credits, you do get a small little tidbit at the very end. So I highly recommend that. And then as far as the rating goes, it is not rated unless you go by Tubi's rating. They gave it the MA. I just say not rated because Tubi's rating system is, let's face it, is just bonkers. That they don't make any sense with their rating system. But anyways, what is this movie about? Well, Vinnie Vineyard plays a morning color DJ that does I think that's what they call them, color DJs, where they do off skits, comedy skits, prank calls, answer phone calls, and have various guests on. It's a very interesting morning type show. He gets hired on at WJHC AM, which happens to be a religious channel. So he is not able to go in there right away and do what he wants to do with as far as his comedic shtick goes. He is just basically there to answer phone calls, play songs, and play the daily gospel that is going on. Now, when he first shows up, he meets some interesting folks. He meets the son of the radio station. I forget what his name is, but he is a very odd character who is always rubbing his nipple and stroking something in a very seductive, gross fashion. Because it's like, dude, stop it. I'm trying to work here. Quit. It's inappropriate. And then there's Sister Christian, who is a very interesting DJ who has the hots for our cousin Vinny, cousin Vinny the DJ, as they called him. She's an interesting one who at one point has a magical scene where she arrives at the radio station and he smells her coming in all the way and how awful she smells and this, that, and the other. It's quite an interesting tale. This is a sequel to the movie The Hike, which I reviewed a couple of months ago, just to let you know. I would suggest watching The Hike first. I believe all three of the films, because it's a trilogy. If memory serves me, Vinny saying that it's a trilogy. I will be getting to the third one sometime in August. But the movie takes place back in 1999. As far as things go, there are a lot of, like I said, interesting characters. Luke Walker plays a great character. He's almost He's practically playing the dude from Big Lebowski in this, which I absolutely loved his role. Luke Walker was my favorite character next to Vineyard. Both of them were just stole the scenery whenever they were on. Great comedic duo together. Just a lot of fun. But it takes place over a few days before the Y2K crisis, which, if all of us that were around back then remember, it was weird. People thought the world was going to end. It was just a bizarre time. It takes place over the coming days. The radio station he's working for is losing money left and right, so they have to start to go to other churches to find more money to keep their radio station afloat. So they bring in the crazy snake handlers and they they have a tongue cutting contest, I think is what they called it, and it was between two people from rival churches, and they both spoke tongues at each other. It was the craziest, funniest thing I ever seen. This movie has just got so many great one-liners to boot. My favorite line came from Luke Walker. It's at a part where he's checking the gauges on the equipment at the radio station. Vineyard shows up and finds him. Luke Walker's legs have been eaten off, and he's like, "Oh my God, you must be in so much pain." Luke Walker says, "Nah, man, I did a lot of drugs in the 80s. Oh, and this morning." And I lost it until I cried at that line. Greatest line in the entire movie. Because things happen after the midnight hour on Y2K. It becomes a completely different movie. It's still got it's real heavy on the comedy still, but there's a lot of horror elements at this point, because it is basically the end of the world and who is left behind and things of that nature. So it's a really, really good, really interesting story. I absolutely loved it from beginning to end. As far as the three things go that I love my movies to meet, first is the audio. The audio is very good in this. You can tell it is a very good production company doing the audio. There's no glitches in it, no weird bumps, no static in it, or voices getting muffled in and out. None of that stuff going on. It stays 100% professional, crisp, cool, and clean, as I like to say. I really enjoyed that end of it. I thought they did a great job. Next is dialogue, or it gets an A on audio. Second is dialogue. The dialogue is really fun in this. If you do not laugh at least a dozen times, then you are something's wrong with you, in my opinion, or maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. But anyways, there's lots of stuff in here to make you laugh, especially if you have a dark sense of humor. But it is really good on the dialogue. It's very modern feeling. It's how people, I feel, my age would talk to each other, or younger, the next younger generation, which will be the millennials. How I believe some of the older millennials that grew up throughout the 90s would talk to others as well. So it's very on point with that dialogue. I really liked it. It works very, very well. It's getting an A+ on that end. And then the third thing is editing. The editing is very fine. It keeps a nice steady pace. Doesn't have a bad momentum in it at all. It builds and it builds and it retracts at the right moments, I would say. It builds up each scene and ends it with a great fury. It's just like, it's hard to really explain how good some of these scenes are in this movie. It is not a 5.0 kind of movie though, but it is what I would call a 4.0 out of 5. It is very, very good. I think you could watch this with a lot of people and have a great time. This is one I would watch over and over again. I would watch it, definitely watch it with some friends, or at least like-minded friends, because if you have a square in the crowd, it's going to be pretty boring, I imagine. But anyways, I hope you guys all check out WJHC AM from both Vinnie Vineyard and Luke Walker. I hope you check it out. Like I said, this is from 2022. I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'll be back on a review for you on Thursday. And then Saturday, hopefully, just going on schedule-wise. All right, guys, love your faces, and as always, peace.